and welcome back to the world of Margot. I'm Morgan and this is my channel where we focus on all things beauty, fashion, lifestyle, and travel. And I'm back officially, okay? I have not posted a video on YouTube in like 6 months. Took a little hiatus, a little break, because honestly, y'all, like, as a smaller creator who's trying to grow on multiple platforms and do all of the things, it's hard to like keep up with all the platforms sometimes. And I feel like at the beginning of this year, I had all my goals set out, all my plans set out, and just everything all laid out. And now we are 9 months into the year and so much has changed since the beginning of the year. My goals have changed, strategies have changed, just like so much has changed. So I'm just showing myself grace. And yeah, we back. So let's get it. So this video is going to be on all things New York Fashion Week. I attended Fashion Week for a few days in February of this year, and then I also attended Fashion Week of September of this year. So literally, like, by the time this video posts, it would have been like a week has passed. So yeah, we're gonna just get into like how I've been able to navigate Fashion Week as a smaller creator, things I've learned, and just maybe just some tips and tricks. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in attending Fashion Week, I hope that you learned something. And yeah, so let's get into it. So when I first attended Fashion Week in February of this year, I had already planned a trip to New York just to have like a Galentine's staycation, and I wasn't even thinking about New York Fashion Week at all. And the person who was supposed to come with me to New York ended up not being able to come. So I asked one of my creator friends at the time to see if she wanted to come. I know she loves New York, I know she loves fashion as much as I do, so I was like, girl, if you can, let's go. And so outside of Fashion Week, we had plans to do like the Color Factory, the Vanderbilt Summit, and just other, you know, touristy New York things, because I love New York, okay? I'ma always go to New York, Fashion Week or not. And I was like, since it's Fashion Week and we're here for the weekend, why don't we try to see if we can get into some shows or whatever? So I watched some YouTube videos on like Fashion Week, read some blogs about like how to get in and that type of thing. And so I literally found the designer price list on the New York Fashion Week website, hint, hint, hint. And I matched up the shows and the designer contacts with the days that we were attending. And I just started pitching my butt off, like sending out pitches. And to be honest, like, I've never pitched for a New York Fashion Week before, so I didn't really know what to expect, because you see, you know, people attend Fashion Week, you know, online, and you see it on Instagram, everything like that, and you think it's something that is so exclusive, right? And it is exclusive, but it wasn't like as hard as it seems to actually like get into some things, because I feel like New York Fashion Week is very straightforward. Like, you're either in, you got a seat at the show, you got a standing spot at the show, or you don't. Like, it's very dry and cut. So I just pitched, and to be honest, y'all, my pitch wasn't even that good. So I just pitched, and I pitched maybe like the same week that we were going to New York, maybe like a few days before, and I was just pitching and I was just following up, and I was just like, hey, my name is so-and-so, I do X, Y, and Z, I link my platforms, and then I also just, I believe in the pitch I sent, you know, my page has had X amount of views within the last 90 days, I would love to cover the show. Do you have any more space for an extra RSVP? And that's pretty much how I got into like shows and showcases back in February. And the same thing pretty much for September, except for I have a manager now. So instead of me pitching, my manager pitched for me this go time around. And pretty much now that from my experience in February and my experience in September, now I pretty much know that that designer press list is going to be key, and that drops maybe like a week to 2 weeks before. And then also one thing that I kind of took note of is, who are your favorite creators? Who are your favorite bloggers? What shows are they going to? What influencer activations are they going to? And find that information out, and from there, okay, you know, so-and-so got invited to, you know, a show at New York Fashion Week. And that's how you also know that, oh, this brand is having a show, or this brand had a show last year, so they might have a show this year. So you really have to be like alert and on your A game. And like when that designer press list drops, you got to start sending your pitches out ASAP, because a lot of the times for that designer press list, all of the, well, let me backtrack. PR agencies are the ones who are going to be managing PR, press, media for all of the designer shows. So you aren't pitching directly to the designers, you're pitching to the PR agency to let you into the show. So I'm gonna start right there. So 9 times out of 10, you know, the PR agencies have already sent out their RSVPs and invites to, you know, all the major fashion girls and major media who needs to be at the show. So as an influencer, content creator, smaller creator, whatever it is, you're kind of getting like the leftover seats or the standing seats, really. And that's why I said it's very dry, cut, and clear, because they might be at capacity with all of their SVPs, and they may not. You may get a chance to get in. And we were just lucky enough in February to where some of the shows and some of the showcases, they still had availability, and they said yes and sent over the RSVP link, and we were able to RSVP that way. This time around in September, I wasn't really able to attend shows like that, because, you know, Fashion Week goes from Wednesday to Wednesday, Thursday to Thursday, and I work a 9 to 5. I am not a full-time creator yet. So, you know, when it comes to PTO, I have to be wise about my PTO and things like that. So I only went again on the weekend, and some of the shows and things that I got invited to were happening after I was leaving New York. So that's a bummer, because I really wanted to go to some shows this year. But either way, now that I kind of know how Fashion Week works as far as getting invited, getting on lists, getting on RSVPs and things like that, now don't get me wrong, Fashion Week is a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, but I don't feel as like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to get into any shows. Like, I don't feel that way at all. I know that as I grow and as I continue to put out content and things like that, I'm definitely going to be in those spaces, be in those rooms, and I won't always have a standing seat. You know, one of these years I'm gonna have all seating seats, front row, all of that. But until then, this is kind of just what you got to do as a smaller creator. And I've also seen smaller creators with, you know, around my following who have gotten, you know, front row seats to shows. They've gotten after party invites, all of that. And I think also when it comes to just Fashion Week and just the fashion industry in general, a lot of it too is all about like who you know as well. Because if you know your friend is pitching for Fashion Week, you know, she might be able to add you as her +1 to stuff and things like that. So if you are thinking about tag teaming, you know, Fashion Week with a friend or, you know, whoever, you can also have, you know, your friend pitch to the same, you know, the same PR agent, same brand, and you guys can, you know, bounce that off of each other and, you know, add your +1 here, add your +1 there. But yeah, it's a lot. And also, don't believe the hype. Fashion Week is very fun. You get the looks in, but it's a lot of work and it's very tiring because you are on the go, on the move, literally all day long from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And depending upon if you get into after parties or anything like that, you are up at 7 a.m. doing your makeup to get ready for a 10 a.m. show, and you don't get home till 3, 4 in the morning because you're out partying all night, and you have to be on go. I cannot talk. On go all day long for days at a time. And you know, all of the top fashion girlies that I love so much, High Low, Monroe, all of the girls, you know, a lot of big names now. Like the girls are doing it big, so they're at Fashion Week from Wednesday to Wednesday every single day, getting out content, pumping out pictures, going to show, going to influencer activations. Like New York Fashion Week is fun, but it really is no joke, so keep that in mind. But also, and not to like discourage you from pitching yourself to brands, Fashion Week also has a ton of like free activations and things going on I cannot talk. I cannot talk. What I was saying is that a lot of brands in New York Fashion Week, they also have a lot of free events going on. Sometimes they have free shows. What happened? This September Fashion Week, Coach had a free pop-up. Laneige had a free pop-up. So again, like make sure you are on your favorite brand's social medias, especially if they have, you know, flagship stores in New York, or if their headquarters are in New York, because you can also make sure you're following up with you know, them on socials to see if they're gonna have any type of activations during Fashion Week. And then also on the New York Fashion Week website, some designers offer packages, so you can actually buy tickets to get a front row seat at the show, to get goodie bags, giveaways, all of that. But those are usually for like the top designers, like, okay, and those tickets could run you anywhere from like $500 to maybe like $7,000. It just depends on the designer and the show. And yeah, like that's pretty much it. Like New York Fashion Week is, no games are played, so you really have to go after what you want. So if you know you want to go to these shows, you need to be on top of your ish, okay? So when that designer press list release is on New York Fashion Week's website, you need to have your pitches ready. You need to cross-reference the calendar with the press emails and send your pitches out to these PR agencies, okay? And again, it's just one of those things where you could be in the show or you could be out the show. You could be standing, you might have a seat. You just do not know until you request your invite. And also for Fashion Week specifically, a lot of these PR agencies, they're getting so many emails that you might have to follow up 2 or 3 times to see if you could do your seat. You might hear back, you might not. You might get confirmed on the list, you might not. So you just have to like send your pitch emails out, follow up 2 or 3 times, and really just like, to be honest, like hope for the best. Unless you're like someone's +1 to parties or +1 to shows, you really have to hope for the best and make sure your pitch is on point, make sure your content is on point. And I think also another thing that helps is that if you know you want to go to a specific designer show, making sure you have content in there, you know, clothes, or maybe you've talked about their brand before or anything like that. Like in your pitch, link that stuff, because the PR agencies will see that, oh, like you've been talking about this brand, you like this brand, so yeah, let me invite you to the show so you can do a nice blog write-up, or you can do a YouTube recap, or you can post on your Instagram and your TikTok and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much my little gist. I hope this was helpful for you guys, but I will just say, like, when it comes to New York Fashion Week, as far as getting into shows and pitching yourself, like, do not be intimidated, because I was intimidated like all these years. Like, I don't want to go to Fashion Week. Like, I'm a fashion girl. Like, I need to be at these shows, okay? I need to be in New York City in my outfits, getting flicked up in the streets and having a good time at these shows and doing a full recap. And I just happened to send a pitch email that wasn't even the best pitch email I've ever sent, and back in February they were like, yeah, come to the show. And I was sitting at a show for New York Fashion Week. So I really hoped this helped you guys, or whoever is watching. Thank you so much for, you know, sticking around this long for my little New York Fashion Week rant. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and actually answer a few questions, because I asked people on Instagram, my audience, if they had any New York questions, and I got a few. So I'm just gonna quickly answer those. So someone said, "What do you want to live in New York?" I've actually been considering moving to New York for like the last 2 years, but I'm just not 100% sure on it yet. I like living in the DMV area because I feel like New York is something that is like, you're on the go so much. And I don't get me wrong, I love the hustle and bustle of New York, but I also like my peace and my quiet and my stillness as well that I get in the DMV, specifically Virginia. So I don't know. It's not a yes, but it's not a no either. I'm open to it. I'm planning a trip to New York Fashion Week. How do you find? But I feel like I answered that already. And then someone else said, "What was the theme you chose for your outfits during New York Fashion Week if you had one?" To be honest, I didn't really have a theme. I just usually shop for what I like. And this year I really just shot for what I like, and I was very last minute with a few of my outfits because I've been traveling so much. So like New York Fashion Week outfits was like the last thing on my mind. But some of the pieces that I did pick out, this tulle dress and this denim romper. The tulle dress was from ASOS. I'll like leave a picture pop up. And then my denim dress was from Zara. Denim is something that is always trending for fall, but specifically for this season, fall jumpsuits and like fall rompers, specifically denim, that is something that is trending right now. So I happened to see it in Zara and I tried it on and I loved it, so I picked it up. And then tulle dresses, I feel like tulle dresses are always like trending, they're always a moment. So I just picked one up that was bright and colorful for a nice, fun, dressy, girly look. And that's kind of how I picked out my outfits. And yeah, that was pretty much it for me when it came to outfits. I feel like the more that I grow and the more that I start going to New York Fashion Week more, I'll be more planned out and more organized when it comes to all of my looks. So we'll see. Maybe one fashion week I'll have like a set theme or whatever, but I usually just dress for like what I like, and if it all matches together, it just all matches together. I don't know. So yeah, that was the end of my New York Fashion Week spiel and the questions. And now I'm gonna go ahead and just roll over to my New York Fashion Week footage from this from September for this year, the last week. We went to the Black and Fashion Council showroom. I picked up candles from Otherland Co, little goodies, and I also got invited to attend Afropunk. It was my first Afropunk, so we'll see some clips of that, and that will conclude my welcome back YouTube video. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you made it this long, I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna put that footage rolling next, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.